Alright, today we're going to overview the DDS181-02 from Bosch. This is Bosch's latest offering in its lithium-ion drills. This is an entry-level drill, but it's truly a great drill, and we'll go over why. But before we unbox it, we'll just go over the literature on the box. You can see this is 20% more compact than the competition and its previous generations from Bosch, 20% lighter, and it offers 600 inch-pounds of torque, which is pretty impressive for a drill this size. One of the big differences with this year's offering is the lithium-ion high-capacity batteries that should give it some excellent battery runtime, and they say up to 50% more than the previous non-high-capacity batteries. So we'll go ahead and unbox this. If you want to get it unboxed without damaging the cardboard, you can use a knife and go right down the side. This isn't a bad idea if you're going to want to sell this drill down the road to somebody. It definitely increases the resale value should you want to upgrade to their offering the next year. So you open that up, there's a little tab here you have to pull up, and here, and out slides a nice heavy-duty plastic case. And this will look good alongside all of your other tools. And it has some nice heavy-duty latches here to keep it closed. And we'll open it up and see what we have inside. Alright, once inside the box, the first thing you'll come upon is the paperwork. First thing is the registration card. The drill comes with a 3-year total protection plan, covers the drill, and then a 2-year battery life guarantee, which is really great. But chances are you're not going to have any issues with these batteries for the lifetime of the drill. I've got an older model, 36618, and it's the batteries are still working great. Unlike NiCad batteries with the older generation tools, these lithium ions work really great, and this has the newest technology, high capacity batteries. So registering your tool, if in the case you needed service down the road, just fill out the form, prepaid postage, drop it in the mailbox, and send it off to Bosch. You can also go to BoschTools.com, register online with an online form, if that's easier for you. Then we have a notice that basically says if you have any issues with your tool out of the box, to call 1-877-BOSCH-99 instead of bringing it back to the place of purchase. Then you have the user manual. It's in English, French, Spanish. Shouldn't have any issues with this. Just goes into the details of, servicing your drill, safety, and battery care, basic operations, what you're supposed to do with it, how you're supposed to do certain things. But it's a pretty simple drill. Anyone who's used a cordless drill shouldn't have an issue without looking at this stuff. All right. Next thing you'll notice is the charger, which I have already plugged in. Pretty simple, fairly compact, lightweight, has a fan inside to keep it cool. And the battery, right here, see one of the great new features of these high capacity batteries is they have a gauge built right on it. Press the button, lights up, there's 3 lights. So you can see it comes from the factory to about 2/3 charged, which is about where you want to keep a lithium-ion battery if it's not in use, if possible. To charge it, slide it right into the charger. As you can see, the green light starts flashing. Flashing green light means it's in fast charge mode. If this was a solid red, that would mean it was in slow charge mode. And it does that because when you use a lithium-ion battery and the tool, it warms up when it drains, and you don't want to charge a hot battery in the fast charge mode. It was just bad for the battery life. So it'll charge in slow mode, and then once it cools down it will switch to fast mode and finish up. Once it's done charging, you'll get a solid green light, and just unplug it and it's good to go. Battery fits snugly in that little spot there. It also has room, there is room in the case, there's this recess here to allow the fat pack batteries to fit in here and on the drill. Next thing you'll find is this little metal belt clip holder. There's a little screw in there, don't lose that. So this basically goes into the drill. There's a little slot, slide it in there, put the screw in, tighten it down, and then you can hang the drill from your belt. It'll also go on the other side of the drill. There's a slot on that side. It gives you the option depending on how you want the drill to go on your belt. I like how they made this separate. It allows you to decide whether you want to use it or not. I don't think I'd use it, but if you have a tool belt and you're carrying this around the job site, it's a handy option. Alright, onto the drill. One thing you'll see that's missing down here from the previous model a couple years ago is there's no bit holder. Not a huge deal in my opinion, but if you really use that a lot, I guess that could be a consideration. I guess you got to keep a couple bits in your pocket instead. Let's see. One of the best features about this the Bosch drill, this one and the previous generations, is it's really easy to get started slowly. On the first gear, squeeze the trigger just a little bit, and it starts turning very slowly. And then you squeeze a little more and more, and you can be truly variable and very precise with how fast you want it to go and getting it started. Some of the other drills in this class, you'll squeeze the trigger a little bit, and the slowest you can get it going is like that. I mean, so it's real jumpy. It's real hard to start a hole that you're drilling, and it's just not really nice to use. But this is really just smooth as silk, no problems. The gear selector, that's in first gear there. Switch it over to second gear, simple as that. Seems pretty heavy duty, positive locking. Into second gear, you can see spins a lot faster for drilling, and first gear is great for driving screws, whatnot. The forward and reverse selector right here by your thumb and index fingers. Push it in with your thumb, you have reverse, and push it in with your index finger, and you go on to forward. Pretty convenient location. I find that it's easy to use when you're drilling things and changing bits. No problems at all. Onto the chuck. We got a full 1/2 inch chuck. Just hold that there, open it wide open, and then in forward you can just hold it, tighten it down. I'll go ahead and get a drill bit here and demonstrate the use. Widen it up. Alright, slide that in there. And then as you get all the way down, you'll notice that you'll hear like a ratcheting clicking sound. It's a ratcheting chuck that lets you get it really tight. You give a mechanical advantage there that gets a really tight grip on the bit, which is great. And as you can see, the bit is quite well centered. I might not have that in perfectly, but as you can see, looking at the tip of that bit, it's spinning, really close to dead center on axis, which is great. Some of the other drills, I bought a Makita once to try it out before I got my older 36618 from Bosch, and the chuck was way off center, and it was really hard to drill a clean hole. I had to return it. So that's what got me into Bosch in the first place, and I'm sold as a customer, I think. All right. Other than that, we have the clutch. It's 19 position. You have 1 through 18, and then the hard lock position, which you'd use for drilling metal, anything hard. You don't want the drill to slip on the clutch when you're drilling that kind of stuff. You need it to be hard locked. And then for softer materials or for driving screws or whatnot, you have your clutch settings all the way down to 1. You can see not much torque there. Increase it, much more torque there. So you can basically set how deep you want to drive a screw depending on how soft the material is. Makes it real easy for countersinking things. Alright, other than that, removing the battery, pretty easy. Just push in on the switch there, slides off, no problems. Throw it in your charger, grab the other one, slides right on, locks in, good to go. At the base of the drill, you'll see they moved the light from up here to down there from the previous model that I have. But lights up as soon as you squeeze that trigger just a little bit. It lights up before the drill even starts turning, which is definitely what you want, so you can see what you're doing before it starts turning. Give you a view of this side, just a warning about eye protection, that sort of stuff. And you can see the vents right here on the side. On the back we have a couple small vents here and some more on this side. So this way when you're using the drill, I've got a couple more up here actually as well. When you're using the drill and you're pressing on the back of it like this, you're not going to really be blocking, you're only going to be blocking these vents a little bit, which is good. Make sure you keep the drill, the motor nice and cool. Some of the other drills will have a bunch of vents on the back, and you always wonder, you know, what you're doing to the drill if you're covering those up. So no issues with that here. Alright, that's it for the overview of the Bosch DDS181-02. Next we're going to compare it to the older model, the 36618. Alright, now we're going to talk about the difference between the Bosch DDS181-02 and the older model, the 36618, which is from a couple years back. Very similar drills. They're both the Bosch 18V lithium-ion system. Back then they called it lithium, now it's just lithium-ion. The new battery is high capacity. It's 1.5 amp hours with the slim pack versus 1.3 amp hours the old one. Both of them come with two batteries. The 181-02 comes with two of the 1.5 amp hour batteries. The 181-01 comes with two of the fat pack 3 amp hour batteries, and the 181-03 comes with one of each. The older 36618 just comes with the two slim pack 1.3 amp hour 18 volt batteries. Good thing is that these batteries are interchangeable. You can use this battery with this drill, this battery with this drill. It's the same connection. They'll both work just fine. The newer batteries are obviously higher capacity, so they should provide a decent increase in runtime. Another difference between the batteries is the new one has the battery gauge like we've talked about before. Other than that, pretty much the same. The older style 36618, you can see it's angled a little bit different, so your grip is going to be slightly different depending, versus what you're in relationship to what you're drilling. Other than that, same 2 gears. Selection mechanism is pretty similar. I think it's a little easier on the new one. The clutch on the old version goes up to 20 and then has the direct drive lock, and on the new one it just goes up to 18 and then into the lock. Not a big deal there though. In operation, pretty much the same. They both start out nice and slow. Variable speed, I think you can tell the difference. The 36618 is definitely louder. Some bigger vents. I'm not sure about total surface area of the vents, but definitely the vents are definitely in one area versus in the new one where they have vents here, 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 and same on the other side, a couple on the back. The chuck, much bigger on the 36618, extends out. You have this metal part, which is kind of nice because that protects it as it's rubbing against anything. As you can see, I have made some wear on the plastic part of the chuck on the old one. That's going to happen. The newer one, not as large. just this little bit of metal ring that sticks out from the chuck. The grooves in it are much deeper though, so you'll be able to get a little bit better grip on this, I think, even though it's a bit smaller. The part that turns is still pretty much, it's still the same size, I think. So a little bit better grip here, I would say. A little bit more wear resistance on the older model. The other difference, the light on 36618 is right here. Points directly out to what you're drilling at. And on the new 181-02 is down here, kind of shines up at this angle. Depending on what you're working on, one might be better than the other. With this one, if you had something that was blocking here, you might not be able to see it with the 181-02. But that's kind of nitpicking. I think you'll have a fine experience with the new drill. Lastly, the old one has the bit holder on either side, and the new one instead has the belt clip, which you can put on either side. That's about it for the physical differences. The new one definitely has more torque at 600 inch-pounds, and the older version has 500 inch-pounds of torque. So you get an extra 100 inch-pounds of torque. If you look for these on Amazon, which is the best place you can get them, if you go to Bosch 18V-02review.com, there's a link in the description. You can see Amazon is really the best deal. And I mean, the old version you can get for about 145, and the new version 149 usually. And right now I think they're offering a $20 off discount when you buy select Bosch tools over $100. So check it out and get yourself one of these.